Mukta evasa. Verses 27 and 28. Shutting out all external objects, fixing the vision between the eyebrows, making even the inward and outer breaths, moving within the nostrils, the sage who has controlled the senses, mind and understanding, who is intent on liberation, who has cast away desire, fear and anger, he is ever freed. Shri Krishna sums up what he said in the 5th chapter of the Gita in the last 3 verses of this chapter, of which these 2 are. The 27th and 28th verses are continuous, and Shri Krishna here describes someone who is Sada Mukta, ever freed. Sada Mukta. The person so described has won over his senses, mind and intellect, and has no other goal apart from liberation. Shri Krishna uses the word Muni, and this is a very high level and means someone who continuously thinks about the form of the Supreme Being. One should underline the word Sada Mukta. Can anyone find it? Last line, yeah. Second and third words of the last line. Sada Mukta, this is the goal. We often become freed, but we only become temporarily freed or part-time freed. If we go to sleep, then it feels as if we're free for 6 or 7 hours. In reality, we're not free when we're sleeping. This is a misbelief. But what is described here is Sada Mukta, ever freed. What are the qualities needed for this? Shri Krishna explains 7 qualities needed for this in these 2 verses. The first one is Munihi, another meaning, one who is silent. Munhi, one who is silent. Muni Moksha Parayana, meaning a Muni marches towards liberation. The Muni gives silence a lot of importance. If a person can't remain silent, then he should at least speak good words. During Guruji's time at college, he used to write a lot of poems, and one of them read as follows: Mon jo avine ubure, tamare barne, Karju kampota shobdaye vyart nikre. Meaning, if silence comes and stands outside you, then from the heart, the words' meanings will come out. I repeat, if silence comes and stands outside you, then from the heart, the words' meanings will come out. The power of silence is so great that if words cannot say anything, then the silence will say it. A person who is silent can attain Brahma Nirvana, the beatitude of God, and such a person is Sada Mukta, ever freed. If one is not this, then he'll be Sada Bada, ever bound. Understand the importance of silence. Great saints say that you should keep silent for certain periods during the day. If you do this, then your power will increase. The scriptures have written clearly that the expenditure of words is more injurious than the expenditure of energy. By speaking you lose power, and therefore you must control your speech. If you keep silent for just 1 hour a day, then your strength will increase so much, and your thinking power will increase. If you go even further, then silence is not just that of words. In fact, it's the silence of the senses. It's the silence of the eyes, nose, skin, and the other senses. The Muni is a very high level. Then what do you need to do in order to become silent? Next quality, Sparshan Bahavi Krutva, shutting out all external objects. Maharishi Astavakraji says, Vishayan Visha Vyatarja, leave all material objects as if they are poison. You should keep all external objects on the outside because you are within. Yourself is within. External objects cannot appear within, and the illusion of pleasure that the senses get when they come into contact with the sense objects are temporary and not forever. The temporary pleasures keep running out. Shri Krishna already described Akshaya Sukha, happiness that can never reduce and that can never be destroyed, in the 5th chapter, and one who wishes to attain Akshaya Sukha must come to the state where he keeps external objects on the outside. By keeping external objects on the outside, he does make use of them, but not on the inside. What happens to us is that we don't use external objects use us, and we run around for 24 hours holding on to those external objects in our minds. Third, Chakshu Broho Antare Krutva, meaning it's in the second line of this verse 27, fixing the vision between the eyebrows. This is the means of keeping the mind one-pointed. I'll not go into too much detail on this and the 4th quality, which is Pranapana Samokrutva, now, but we'll discuss it in Atma Sayom Yoga, which is a yoga of meditation, which is the 6th chapter of the Gita, where Shri Krishna will explain to us how to perform dhyan, meditation. Ekantera Ashita, Tatra Kagram Mahakrutva is a very beautiful thing. Sucha Udesh Patishpatya Sira Masa Nanamaha. Shri Krishna explains how one should sit and everything else one should do for meditation in the 6th chapter. For now, just know that you should fix the vision between the eyebrows, because the mind keeps moving as much as the vision keeps moving. Thoughts go where the eyes go. By making the vision still, a person's power increases. Fourth, prana pano samokrutva. Making is the third line of verse 27, making even the inward and outward breaths moving within the nostrils. One should make the life breath even and control the motion of the breath. Fifth, yatindriya manobuddhihi, which means controlling the senses, mind and intellect, is the first line of verse 28. Sixth, vigate chavaha krodaha, casting away desire, fear and anger, which is the third line in verse 28. First of all, if there are no desires, then there is no fear, because fear is there as a result of desire. Ultimately, the desire that human beings have is the ultimate desire is the wish to live, and that is why all the fears arise. Jivi Visha. This leads to all the fears. But when one doesn't have this, then one does not have any types of desires. As we said earlier, Jagi Chintamati Manave Parva, Jisko Kuch na Jaye, Wo Shao Ka Shah, said by Swami Ramtirth. He said, one who desires nothing is the biggest emperor of all emperors. If desire goes away, then fear goes away, and if fear goes away, then anger goes away. If there is no wish, then there is no craving, and if there is no craving, there is no anger. All of this goes away. Seventh, which is moksha parayanaha, which means being intent on liberation, which is in the last word on the second line of verse 28. Moksha parayana, being intent on liberation. One who attains to this state is sada mukta evasa. Okay, last verse of the 5th chapter, verse 29.